Hey everyone, if you missed last week or are new to the channel, we're a family of 4 that have sailed from Florida to Thailand. Megan has decided to sit out the Indian Ocean and Red Sea, so I'm going to go it alone. 1,500 miles to Maldives, another 2,000 beyond that to Africa, and I've never single-handed before. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe this is the start of a 10+ day journey. Just one thing at a time. How am I doing right now? How's the boat doing right now? That's all I have to worry about. Gonna be a long day. Gonna be a long couple weeks. So just dropped the family off. I'm going to check out right now, and then I'll see if I can get this boat moving by myself.
Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore.
Whew. Dinghy's secure. I'm glad I only have to do that once, or however many times to get it out. It's harder with one. May not be the only thing. We'll see. I am about to sail out of here. I'm gonna have one more meal. What's the plan? Well, I don't really have one. My biggest concern is getting overly tired. My second biggest concern is getting caught with too much sail up. I don't have a sleep schedule laid out. Would be a little foolish to say, oh, I'm gonna sleep in these windows, and I'm certainly not gonna set an alarm for every 15 minutes. I will if I needed to. If I was going someplace like through all the boats in Indonesia or the Torres Strait or something like that, I'd plan accordingly, but I'm hoping to get out there where I can catch naps. Shouldn't be a lot going on, we'll see, but I've sailed enough and I've sailed in enough conditions to know you got to take what comes. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to sail really conservatively. If you get overly tired, your decision making suffers. Almost always out here, it's not one factor, it's not one mistake, it's not one catastrophic event. Almost always. It is a combination of things. So if I can keep my wits about me and not overreact or not compound in air, I should be okay. When I sailed in here with 8, when we started off from Florida with 4, and now as I sail out of here with 1, 2 fundamental goals. 1, keep the boat above the water. 2, keep the people on the boat. Same goals. Now only I have to worry about one person. Alright folks, here we go. Unless the engines don't start, and then we will not go. Anchors up is one of the trickier things. It is definitely a 2-man operation on this boat. I got a windlass shift switch at the helm, but with forces involved, it is hard. So I may be running up and down, trying to see where the anchor is when I should be going up and down. Right, anchor's up, which is awesome. Now I just got to get out of this bay, which is super crowded and does have some shallow spots. And it's got mooring lines see one coming up right here. I do not want to get wrapped around one of those, I will tell you that. Man, those mooring lines are long. Why do you gotta make them so long? Oftentimes in cruising, one partner has a sailing background and sells the vision of cruising to the other. Given that Megan just flew back to the States and I'm sailing on, it would be natural to think that I'm the sailor and Megan finally got tired of it. Not at all. She's actually more drawn to boats in the tropics than I am. I'm drawn to the adventure and wasn't ready to hit pause on that. But I'm really going to miss having my family around. So close and so far. Right behind me are tourists frolicking on the beach, took their long tail boats over. I'm only 500 feet away, I'll call it 500 meters away, and my reality is very different. I'm on the beginning of a massive sail. They don't know or care. Which is just fine. I hope they're having fun. All right, I've wound my way out of the few little barrier islands and have open sea in front of me, but Thailand's still right behind me. There it is, the last of the land I'll see for a week and a half. It's time to get the code D up. The wind is light. I think I'm gonna try deploying it on the windlass drum for the first time. My hope is that I deploy and furl that all while rigged on the windlass. If I can do that successfully, it means I don't have to go up there and take it on and off. Most tasks in sailing are straightforward. What's tricky with single handing is when several things need to happen more or less simultaneously. Here I'm trimming the sheet, which is a fancy way of saying cranking in the red line attached to the corner of the sail, pushing the button that unwraps the sail via the continuous furler, while hopping up to the hull to get a better view, as sight lines on boats aren't always great. I think that worked. The forces are so light it's almost hard to tell. The next test will be using the same exact system in reverse to see if I can pull it in without going up front. It's already on the drum. My biggest issue is I just don't have enough wind. We got like 5 or 6 knots of apparent. Land is just fading away behind me. You won't be able to see it. I can barely see it with the human eye. This lifestyle is a super unique one. Always new places to go. There's always the next place, the next horizon, looking forward, but it's also lots of goodbyes. Lost in the shuffle of the chaotic last week of Megan deciding to skip the Indian Ocean and then her and I getting ready to go is the fact that we're leaving one of the favorite countries we've visited. Thailand represents many extremes. We've shown you extreme things like fire dancing and ziplining, but there's extremely tranquil anchorages, extreme beauty, extremely chaotic anchorages, easily the most chaotic we've seen. Then there's the exotic street food, insects to collect or eat, or perhaps both. Really, it's just an extremely great place to be. Carpe diem, man. You gotta suck on the marrow of life. Or pork rib.
Yeah, they're good, but I'm not sold about the marrow of life thing.
Oh.
That marrow, what's it called?
Watching Thailand fade away makes me feel a little melancholic. I'm sure being alone has something to do with that too. Sunset number 1. 6 hours into the journey. Boy, it feels a lot longer. I'm tired. Gonna get a little food and start my napping schedule. We'll see how the night goes. Just no wind right now. I had to throw an engine back on, took the D down. I was just vlogging. Supposed to get some wind overnight, so we'll probably put the D back up as long as there's not any squalls in the area, but so far so good. Just threw up. It's not seasickness. I'm don't get seasick and it's super calm out here. Stomach bug, I felt it coming on in the afternoon, evening. It's funny, it's the first time I've thrown up on Scout since I've owned the boat, and it's the first night I've been alone on it. Just a coincidence, but not one that's in my favor. It's 5:30. An awful night. I threw up like a dozen times. I am just drained. Got some fitful sleep for the last couple of hours. Just exactly what I didn't want to happen. I'm behind. I'm exhausted. The wind's picked up a little bit. I'm trying to work up the motivation to throw the sail out. I've still got the engine going. Still light winds. The bright side in all of that is that it was really, there wasn't anything happening out here. There weren't any other boats around. Seas have still been calm, but man, I feel lousy. I survived the night. Have been able to keep fluids down this morning and just ate an apple. So cautiously optimistic I'm on the mend. Super tired, super drained. Today will just be a recovery day. Seas are calm. I got the sail up, going about 5 knots. Am I there yet? Smile. It's the morning of day 3, going slow, but in recovery mode. Made myself some eggs and hash browns here. First big meal I've made since getting sick. Just had a little bit of soup, an apple yesterday, but I've kept liquids down, so working on recovery, just keeping on keeping on. I'm supposed to get winds, but it hasn't happened yet. Just going slow. Boy, but when you get sick out here, it's just one thing at a time, one moment at a time. Getting a drone back aboard a moving vessel with one person is tricky. In related news, this might be the last of the drone footage for a while. Night of day 3, wasn't able to get it on film. The winds picked up and I had to take the Code D down, the big nylon sail. Did not go well. The drum I've got it on does not have a clutch at the top, so I have to tension the other side of the continuous furler, which I did personally when I had more hands on board. So it went poorly for a good while. I am lucky I didn't blow that sail out. Not a situation I should have put myself in. But I got it down and then I just totally dropped it. I think the winds are gonna stay up for the next couple of days and I am gonna fly just the jib alone, which I'm very confident in handling from the cockpit. And we're still cruising right along. Seas are building. I'm tired. The battle out here is you. I'm tired. I'm still not feeling great. Whew. All right, I've been flying under jib alone. I just went down and took that down. So went out and took that down. It's 4 in the morning. I got 33 knots of apparent, and I'm going 7 under bare pulls, so that means I got 40 knots out there. Squall coming through. Thank goodness I got the D all the way down on the deck and into the cockpit. I would not want to worry about that being out, just to catch catch an edge and deploy. That'd be bad news. Even getting the jib in, just me, is harder. I like for somebody to let the sheet out gradually while I'm pulling in the furling line, but got it in. Man, let me know when nap time is. It's the morning of day 4. It's wild out here. Been running under bare poles for about the last 6 hours or so. Just big seas, big winds, 30 to 40 knots, gusting over. Staying inside. Love to get some sleep. I got about 2 hours of sleep last night. It's kind of hard in these conditions. Something will break loose and start flapping. I gotta tie it down. It's okay. Best I can tell, the boat's holding up all right. Could use some rest. After about 12 hours of going bare poled, just kind of hanging on. Got the sail up behind me again, just the jib. It's gonna be a few days before I even think about getting the Cote D back up. It's not raining for a change, which is lovely. Not enough sleep. Tough to get enough food. Just not hungry. Right now things are okay. That's all you can ask for. Sometimes I'll ask Megan if she's hungry and she'll reply, I don't know, what time is it? She usually leaves just some response by me about how time is an abstract concept and doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in her stomach. She, of course, just wants to keep meals on some kind of predictable routine. Well, when you're single-handing, that goes out the window. Right now it is both 4 in the morning and breakfast time. Good morning. Day 5 on the water. Cleared the Nicobars, several hundred miles to Sri Lanka. I'm out in the middle of the Bay of Bengal. Just gonna call it the Indian Ocean. Not really a sailor, as some of you know. I came to this life with no experience whatsoever. I do play one on YouTube. What you try to do is make things simple, so if one thing goes wrong, that's it. And you can stop it there, and it's not another and another and another. One really simple example. Throw a little figure 8 on the end of all of your lines. When something goes wrong, the last thing you want to discover is that some bitter end of a line has worked its way out from where it shouldn't, is in the drink. Had big winds behind, and one of my jib sheets that was out of the system, had no tension on it, just through the waves and the wind behind, had worked its way all the way out and through, and was just caught by this in the roller, but it hadn't have been caught through this, it would have been out and up on deck and probably overboard, which might have been okay. I might have noticed that and just fished it out of the water, or when something else went wrong, that's when I would have popped an engine on and discovered, oops, I got a line in the water, which means now I got a line around the prop. So little stuff, little itty bitty stuff like this can make a big difference. I don't know about others, but I don't have the energy to deal with a hard sail. I need to do everything I can to deal with an easy sail. People describe the water as emotions. Oh, the seas are angry, the seas are calm. Right now I might describe the seas as tempestuous. But they're not really emotional at all. They're just water, winds, nature. She's not looking after you, nor is she coming after you. She just is.